Hey, hi everyone. So welcome to another problem. So this problem is another interesting question that I saw. It is time-based key value store. So basically, we have to implement this data structure here, which has the class time map, and we have to basically implement the init method, the setter method, and the getter method. So the problem statement will just quickly go through. So we have to implement this time map class, and here it's given that there are three things which comes into the setter method. There's a key, there's a value, and there's a timestamp, right? So so there could be multiple timestamps possible for the same key. The setter method should take care of that, right? It's not a basic dictionary. There's a key, and then there are going to be different values for that key based on the timestamp. Okay, so that is the first requirement. The second requirement is that the getter method should try to return the value if it is available for that particular key and timestamp. If it is not available, then what it should do is, like, let's say there are no values, then we should return an empty string. Otherwise, what we should do is, there is also a condition that return a value such that the set was previously called with timestamp previous less than or equal to timestamp. If there are multiple such values, return the values associated with the largest timestamp previous. So this means that we have entered, let's say we have timestamps as 1, 2, and 4 for a particular key, and we are making a request for, let's say, timestamp 5, but timestamp 5 is clearly not there, but return timestamp 4 because that is the second largest after that, right? So that's the problem statement that's been given. And yeah, there is also an example. So here we can see we are creating, let's just look at the explanation section. We are creating a timestamp object. We are setting the first key as foo, the value as bar, and timestamp is 1. Very good. Then we are trying to get a foo of 1 that's already available, so then we'll get bar. We are now calling foo of 3. 3 is not available, but since 1 is available, we return the value of 1, which is bar, right? Then if you see the next example, timestamp dot set foo bar to 4. So we are adding 4, the entry with the timestamp as 4. Now when you do foo of 4, you get basically bar 2 because it's already available. When it is not there, when you are making a request for 5, 5 is not there, but since 4 is available, we return bar 2. Okay, so that's the problem statement. So let's think of how we can do this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a cache. uh, Let me make this big. Cache storage. Yeah, this is going to be built out of default dict. I'm going to use, yeah, the good thing is collections is already imported within the namespace, so it's available. I'm going to use a cache to actually create a default dict. Then I just need to actually do what, since it's a default dict, I don't have to handle for things like whether the key is present or not. I can just do self.cache access the key, and I'm going to put the values in a way that timestamp comes first. So I'm going to create a tuple timestamp and then the value I'm going to put in here, right? So that's the first thing. Okay, so this takes care of basically the setter method. Now we know that let's say we get a value that is actually, you know, lesser than the first index of the entire timestamp array, then there is we can basically return empty string for it, right? So that is basically if self dot cache of key, um, So here, if you take the 0th index, and then so 0th index would basically give me the 0th tuple which has timestamp and value, right? So I can just do like this. If the timestamp is lesser than this, then I can just return empty string. That's just basic handling my boundary condition. Likewise, if the timestamp is greater than self.cache of key, I'm going to take the last element here, -1, 0, then then what I can do is, I know that it will be the previous element, right? I mean, if it's greater than the last element, then the obvious answer is -1, 1, right? Because if something is greater than, let's say, the last element, then we saw that example of 4 and 5 with the array just had till 4 and you're querying for 5, then just return the value that is pointed by the last element. Remember that the 0th index represent timestamp and 1 represent the value. Okay, so now that this has been taken care, like we have looked at both the edge conditions, what we can now do is think of handling doing the search that is actually within the array, right? So imagine there is a timestamp array, and by the way, when we do self.cache of key, and when we are doing that search, basically the first element here, that is actually the let's say when you're doing this, that's actually pointing to the first timestamp, sorry, the first tuple, right? This is what it's pointing to. And that's why, and then to access timestamp, I'm just doing like this. To access value, I'm doing like this. So that's the idea. So what we will do now is we will perform actually binary search to see if the value is present or not. So let's see how to do that. So first let's get our left to right values. So left is 0, right is basically the len of array, right? So that's going to be self.cache of key Oh, by the way, I can do this. Another check is, if the key is not present, then I can just return it, right? If key not in self.cache, then also I should return, I think, empty string. Yeah, I missed that. Okay. So we have this, okay, -1, right? Yeah. And then we do the normal binary search. Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult to index this because of the structure, data structure being this way, but we'll just get through it. So if the number that you're looking for, that's timestamp, is equal to self.cache of key. Oh, hang on, we didn't calculate the mid value. Mid is equal to left plus right by 2, right? Made, yeah, so made, and then we are looking at timestamp, right? Yeah. Then if that's the case, then we can just return self.cache of key made 1, right? That's clear. And if timestamp is greater than self.cache of key of made, 0, sorry, 0. Then what we have to do is, yeah, that means we have to move our left pointer, right? So left is equal to mid plus 1, else else is going to be, oh, right is equal to mid minus 1. Okay, so now see what will happen. There are two possibilities here. Either we would find that element. If you don't find that element, right, what happens is binary search would have completed, and when it completes you would have the right pointer first and then you would have the left pointer, right? I mean in the order of ascending, right? So let's say we have some array like this, 2 5 10, and if you're trying to do binary search for, let's say, a value like 3, which it is not there, right? Then your left pointer would cross let's say the left pointer started with 2, but after it is done binary search it would have become now 5. It would have pointed to 5, and your right pointer would have become now 2, right? So basically if you are trying to find the minimum element, the element that is just smaller than the element that you're looking for, we just need to pull the value that is there by which is holded by the right pointer. If you're trying to find a value which is greater than the value that you're searching for, we just need to return the left pointer, right? That's a property of binary search. So here what we can do is, since we want to just return the value which is lesser than the value that you're looking for, we can use the right pointer. So let's do that. Self.cache of key, and I'm just going to use right, and we are going to return 1. Okay, so let's just try submitting. Okay, the symbol test case, it seemed to have passed. Oh, okay. Okay, it's giving wrong answer for something. Why is that? Let's just check. Oh man, copying in this is quite hard. Let me just I don't see anything wrong actually. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Oh. Okay, I made a big mistake. I just got the entire condition here wrong. That's the problem. it should have been while left is lesser than equal to right for binary search. It just goes to show that, um, some small things like this can always creep up. Like we have to be very cautious when we are uh, explaining the problem. I guess this should fix it. Did that succeed? Oh, oh, crap! Where did it go? Let me just try that again. Yeah, so that is submitted. Yeah, that seems to work. So the mistake I did was I got the conditions for the terminating conditions actually wrong. That's the problem. So yeah, that's pretty much the solution. I'll just explain what I did initially once more. So there's just two things. One, the setter is basically updating the cache correctly. Then getter is where we first actually look for boundary conditions. One is whether the value is actually lesser than the cache, the first element. If so, then we just return empty string. If the value is greater than the last element, then we can just return that element. If not, what you can do is do binary search, right? And when you do binary search, use the property of uh, the uh, the fact that once binary search is completed, you would have the right pointer pointing to the element value that is actually lesser.